Vince, you had to feel sorry for these guys after last winter. It's been tough.
It has been tough. And we hear from them all the time. And usually they're calling for advice or wanting to know when the next accumulation is. And, you know, this is really a great example of what a huge economic impact that snow has for Wisconsin. And I know it's, you know, very common for people to do nothing but complain about snow. A lot of people love it, but it is huge for business, no doubt. A lot of people, well, everybody will eventually get snow tomorrow, but how much totally depends upon location and time of day. Show you that in a moment. Here's radar satellite. This is over the last 3 hours. Here comes the precipitation. The leading edge of this is evaporating as it moves into Wisconsin. So maybe a few sprinkles or flurries close to the Illinois border, but eventually this will fill in and become a little bit more solid. Notice the green rain, but then back to the west, here's the snow, and there's a lot of dynamics with this, a lot of lift in the atmosphere. So some of the rain here, the layer where the rain is occurring, is being lifted. Dynamic cooling, as we call it, that expands the layer, cools it, and changes the rain over to snow. So that's the type of thing that we're seeing, especially for those of you west of Milwaukee. Keep in mind, we're getting some winds that'll come in off the lake. Lake Michigan water temperature is warmer, so if you're close to the lake, you'll get some of that warmer air tonight. That'll keep your precipitation more rain than snow. The main low is down here in Kansas, and the storm track will take it to the north. Behind it, the cold air. Out ahead of it, the mild air. So as you can imagine, the exact position of that low will determine where the rain and snow occurs. Rain and snow moving in tonight from south to north. So Kenosha, Walworth, Racine counties, you'll see it, feel it first, and then spreading to the north. 34 degrees as an average overnight low. Winds are pretty light right now, but they will pick up out of the east at about 12 to 22 miles per hour. That low tomorrow, southern Lake Michigan, mild air on one side, cold air behind it. So where that low actually ends up and where it moves tomorrow afternoon will totally determine where the rain-snow line is, and that line will move. More rain close to the shoreline from Milwaukee south, but eventually, later on in the afternoon, even from Milwaukee south, close to the lake, you'll see everything change over to snow. So location is critical here. Expected snowfall amounts by the time this is all out of here later on tomorrow night. Heaviest to the north and west of Milwaukee, lighter from Milwaukee south. Milwaukee, Racine, Kenosha. Generally, you'll end up between about 3 and 5 inches of accumulation, I think. The reason for the lighter totals is you'll be more rain tomorrow, changing over to snow late in the afternoon and evening, whereas farther north and west, you'll be snow rather, all day. Let's look at our sky vision forecast and especially look at how these winds are shaping up as we go through the evening and nighttime hours. Here comes some of that light rain and snow. There's 10 o'clock, right through about midnight tonight, then through about 3 o'clock in the morning. There's that rain-snow line, Milwaukee south. 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, a slow go, especially north and west of Milwaukee, with moderate snow and the winds picking up. Milwaukee south, Racine and Kenosha, there you've got that heavy rain. There's 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Again, the heavier snow north, rain south. Don't forget to check in with meteorologist Rob Haswell, Fox 6 Wake Up News. They'll start at 4 o'clock tomorrow morning. So as you head out the door, tune in. He'll let you know what's going on there, and be joined by Justin Zolich at 7 a.m. tomorrow. There's Thursday at noon. There's that rain-snow dividing line. And then finally, from Milwaukee south, it turns to all snow by later on in the afternoon and evening. And look at these strong winds. That'll cause blizzard conditions with reduced visibilities and blowing and drifting snow, unfortunately, for Thursday afternoon and Thursday night. Behind this storm system on Friday, it'll just be plain old windy and chilly and 26. Weekend looks pretty nice with lighter winds, great weather to get out and play in that snow Saturday and Sunday. Flurries or a chance of a little light snow Monday and Christmas Day looking good. That's it for weather. Jen Ladd is next with sports.
The song also has lyric 10 toes of freezing. They must be thinking about a different winter.
Yes, exactly.
Sure. Yeah, not this time around. And actually Sunday in Chicago, maybe a little drizzle around, temperatures in the low 40s. So not the frozen tundra down there, nor around here, actually. Too warm for snow coming up this weekend for us, any accumulating snow, that is. In the meantime, it's pretty mild outside tonight. 3 different Smart Weather Net sites here showing the current temps, the highs for the day and the lows this morning. It's still 39 at River Hills University School, 36 in Racine at the Root River Environmental Education Center, and 33 at Lakeview Elementary in Whitewater. You can see the highs today ranging from 48 in River Hills to 41 in Whitewater. We go live to the west side of Milwaukee, out near the Milwaukee County Zoo, the Milwaukee Montessori School. Still a southwest wind for you and still relatively mild for this time of year. 35 degrees at 10 o'clock. That's warmer than the typical high. In fact, the stats for Milwaukee today at Mitchell. The high reaching 45, the low this morning 28, way above those averages of 34 and 21. The record's 51 on this date, 1991, and 7 below in 1962. The airport this hour is at 36, dew point 27, and a south-southwest wind at 15 miles per hour. Look for an average overnight low of about 33, mostly clear. We have just a few high, thin clouds that are passing through here during the overnight hours, and the main storm track is well north. That's where the precipitation is located. A little bit of light snow here in parts of North Dakota, several inches of accumulation possible. Some of this light snow in extreme northern Wisconsin will accumulate a little bit, 1 to 2 inches possible. But for us, just the high, thin clouds. The southeast U.S. finally getting over their soggy streak as some of these rain showers now in the Carolinas will continue to move offshore, and a big storm system hitting the southwest U.S. tomorrow. Right now in Southern California, some moderate rains moving into Los Angeles and San Diego here overnight, and some rains around Phoenix and Tucson tomorrow. It's been a long time, only a couple of times since early September that Phoenix has seen any measurable precipitation. They'll get some of that tomorrow with rain. Could be up to a foot of snow in Flagstaff for tomorrow and tomorrow night, and eventually that West Coast storm system will affect us coming up for the weekend with mainly rain. But this is a time of year when people say, you know, what are the odds of a white Christmas? White Christmas being defined of at least 1 inch of snow on the ground on Christmas Day. And going back 119 years of records of snow cover, the highest odds here in southeast Wisconsin out of our viewing area. Now, the northern and western part of the viewing area, 50 to 60% odds of a white Christmas, meaning an inch or more of snow on the ground. And for Milwaukee and the Waukesha metro area and along the lakeshore, 40 to 50%. We'll have to wait and see. Christmas is still a long way off. Let's look at the near term, though, and Sky Vision Plus. And we'll start here as of tomorrow morning. And as we go through the day tomorrow, south to southwest winds, plenty of sunshine, and milder air up around 50 degrees. For tomorrow night, mostly clear sky, great viewing for the Geminid meteor shower after about 10 o'clock, just about straight overhead during the overnight hours. And there's Friday, still relatively quiet, but as we look ahead to Friday night, the clouds start to thicken up. And here we go, rolling into Saturday morning. Here it comes. It's rain around here Saturday. Pretty good shot of snow in the northern part of the state, but for us, all in the liquid form. So 50 tomorrow, breezy. 42 on Friday. There's that rain on Saturday with clouds. Sunday, a lot of clouds around as well, but just a few flurries and sprinkles, and plenty of clouds next Monday and Tuesday, but still well above average.
So that's a segue, and so is this. If you're on one of those tomorrow, you'll need a windshield.
Yes, you will. That's right. Mighty cold, and make sure you travel downwind tomorrow. Not as windy as today tomorrow, but certainly a lot chillier. Consider that we had tied a record high yesterday at 65 and reached 67 today. So it was a nice climb today as far as temperatures at Mitchell from 60 at 6 a.m. all the way up to 66 by 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Then the cold front really made its presence felt by 6 o'clock down to 54. And right now, Mitchell at 51 degrees. That is actually the low for the day so far after that 67 high. The average is 49 and 34. The record high for the day, 73 in 1911, so short of that. But the record low, 15, back on this date in 1986. We had anywhere between about a quarter and a third of an inch of snow on that day back in 1986. So a different story today, although there is a little light snow on the radar map tonight. It's on the tail edge of the western edge of this precipitation area. Right now we have mainly the rain. Some of the yellow spots you see here amongst the green, those are a little bit of some ice crystals producing some higher reflectivity in the radar, and then behind it is that area of light snow. Everything continues to move towards the northeast, and I think most of the precipitation should be out of here. It's mainly rain, should be out of here by about 1 a.m. There could be a little light snow mixed in at the end. From our smart weather net system, though, let's head outside and look at the current temperatures around the area. Certainly chilly and a little bit colder to the west. 34 in Waterloo, 38 degrees in Dousman, Lake Geneva at 39. Meanwhile, Kenosha still at 45, and Racine still at 51, but down to 43 in Brookfield and Mequon, 42 in West Bend. Oostburg still at 49. But that southwest wind continues to bring in the colder air from west to east. So you are colder out to the west, but eventually that chilly air will reach the lakeshore in just the next couple of hours as temperatures continue to fall tonight. The way the forecast shapes up then for tonight is pretty much what we see out there now. The light rain, that'll continue. That'll mix with a little bit of light snow before ending by about 1 a.m. or so, down to 28 degrees by tomorrow morning. So as you step out early tomorrow, brace yourselves for that chillier temperature. Over the last 6 hours on radar satellite, there is the precipitation continuing to move away, and there is a punch of some drier air back here in Iowa that'll help to bring in the clearing for later tonight. But notice this area of light snow here and a little swirl in the clouds up around parts of North Dakota. That's an upper air system that'll drop down, could bring us a few flurries tomorrow afternoon along with a few more clouds. Here's our Sky Vision Plus forecast maps talking a little bit more about that. We'll start here with temperatures around the upper Midwest this hour. Clearly, there's the contrast. It's still 62 in Cincinnati, but look at St. Louis, 43, Kansas City down to 28, and Bismarck at 16. So the colder air is definitely on the way. At 11 o'clock tonight, there is still that light rain around with some of that snow mixed in on the back edge moving through. But once we get to about 1 a.m., most of the precipitation should end, and then eventually towards dawn, we'll see some clearing. So tomorrow morning, lighter winds than what we saw today and sunshine. And then in the afternoon, we'll see more clouds, maybe a couple of flurries. The winds will pick up as the day goes on as well, mainly out of the west-southwest at 10 to 20. We clear out tomorrow night. There's Tuesday morning and a beautiful day on Tuesday with lighter winds and some sunshine. So morning sun tomorrow, a few afternoon clouds and flurries, 35 for a high, southwest to west winds at 10 to 20. Then for tomorrow night, we clear out after some evening clouds and all the way down to 25 by Tuesday morning. A gradual warm up though for this weekend. Very quiet weather-wise. 38 Tuesday, 45 on Wednesday, warming eventually to 52 on Saturday. That's it for weather. Now back to the news desk.